The title is very clickbaity, and I know that there's a lot of you who are watching or listening to this daily podcast thinking, okay, Matt, come on, tell me the story. How can I get free influencer marketing that could drive hundreds, thousands, if not millions of people to my brand? And before we go into this topic, it's something that I've talked about before. It's something that I encourage you to do, and it's something that is going to be even more important as we come into 2022, and I'll explain why in a second. But before we get into that, please make sure that you hit the like button for this video if you're watching the video. If you're listening to the podcast, the audio version, make sure you go and download it. Make sure you subscribe while you're at it. And if you're on any of the socials or YouTube watching this, make sure you subscribe, because I come back every single day in 2021 with a daily podcast episode, a daily video to help you, the host, get more direct bookings. And if you want to find out more about Boostly, who I am and what we're all about, go to boostly.co.uk. Now, what am I talking about when I come into free influencer marketing? How can you get hundreds, if not thousands, if not potentially millions of people looking at your brand online for free? And it comes back to something I've mentioned time and time again, which is personalization. Now, a lot of you may be already doing this, and I've seen so many cool little Instagram pictures of you doing this already, but just imagine if you go and stay at a property. Say that you're going for a vacation, maybe it's a rural experience, say that you're staying on a glamp site. You walk into the glamping property, whether it's a yurt or whether it's a teepee or it's a cabin or whatever it may be, and you walk in and there's a big blackboard. And on the blackboard in chalk, it says, "Welcome, Mr. and Mrs. Simpson," or Mr. your name. Personalize it even more. Welcome your name. That instantly makes you feel fantastic. The level of personalization, something that took less than a minute to write on the blackboard, the chalkboard, and it already makes you feel cool. I remember when we went on a family vacation to Center Parcs. For those of you not in the UK and you don't know what Center Parcs is, it's a fantastic place, mostly set in a rural woodland location in the United Kingdom. You park your car, and then that's the last time you see your car for your 4, 5, 6, 7 days that you're there for. I remember walking into our cabin, our place that we're going to be staying for the next week, and on the chalkboard they did exactly that. Welcome, Mr. and Mrs. Simpson. Welcome, the Simpsons. I hope you have a fantastic holiday. That personalization, the first thing that we wanted to do was take a picture of it and post it on our social media. That was the first thing that my wife wanted to do. And this is before, she started becoming an influencer and a blogger and all that sort of cool things. And by doing the personalization, it makes people want to share their experience even more. So I always say this, and you never should disregard the sociability of the people that are staying with you. I have been into places doing little mini audits, mini reviews, and I've gone and looked at the Instagram and I've gone and looked at the tagged. And people are taking pictures at your property that have got at least 20, 30, 40,000 followers. They've got a real built up, small little niche of followers through their blogging or pictures or social media. And this can be somebody that could be just an 18-year-old. This could be somebody that is in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, you name it. Anybody can have a social media presence now, and they can build a community around a topic. So by going out of your way, just doing something very little and minute, as on a chalkboard saying, welcome Mr. and Mrs. Simpson, or welcome the Simpsons, that's everything. And I always bring you back to a story that I remember with Heather Bayer, who has got a fantastic podcast. You should definitely go and check her out. We were talking about something very similar to this. And when she had a family come and stay at one of her lakeside locations, she did a little pre-stay survey, asked a question, what are you coming to stay with us for? What is the reason for your visit? And the mum said that their 8-year-old was learning to fish and was really looking forward to just sitting at the dock and having a couple of hours just to fish every day. So she passed the message on to the housekeeping team. I think even she was housekeeping at this time. This is before she grew and scaled. And she just, on the way to cleaning the cottage, going to clean the lakeside property, she stopped off at the bait and tackle shop on the way, spent $10 getting a few little bits and bobs, left it in the garage or left it in the property, somewhere in the property, with a little note on it saying, to insert name of child, have a great vacation, Heather and all the team. And that $10, $15 gesture 5 minutes out of her day to go and do it, resulted in that family coming back every single year to that property. We're talking $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 booking over the course of its lifetime, just from a little $15 purchase and a 5 minute of going out your time to go and do it. That's a huge return of investment in personalization. And not only that, the word of mouth, the offline word of mouth, the offline influence that guest gave to other people definitely resulted in further bookings. And that's just 2 stories. That's not even talking about the ones that are on the top of my head of what we did at the Granary. And you will also have these stories as well. So this is where I pass the podcast to you, like I always like to do. In the comments below, just let me know when you did something personalized and the benefits that you had on the back of it. What are you doing to give your guests that personalization? And this is one of the best ways of making sure that your brand is visible, talkable, Instagrammable, personalizable, all the bills. So pass this over to you. Leave a comment below. If you're listening to the audio and you want to email me, mark@boostly.co.uk, or send me a message on Instagram, it's @BoostlyUK. Please do go and follow. Please come and join in the conversation. I'll be back tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. As always, my name is Mark Simpson. I give hosts just like you the tools, the tactics, the training, but most importantly, the confidence to go and get more direct bookings. Take care.
Having a blast, gonna get it on the Boostly podcast. Boostly like Bruce Lee, cause it's so hard and the T is loose leaf. Making up those rhymes, don't write it, just do it loosely.